10 years ago. And so I'm 36, I guess this one's like 27. And if you add Photoshop, it looks like my bar mitzvah. So, in general, on the black side, some of you can read what's right in there? Okay, it says the future. The future is coming in a minute. I'm working on it. I'm working harder. Okay, I'm not the future. Okay, so before I start, so actually that's my fourth visit to Mexico, and the last one was 10 days ago, and I took a plane back to Israel, and I came back. I spent 4 days in Israel, and people ask me, "What, are you crazy? It's like 20 hours back and forth." You know why? I'm married, so I had to go home. My life is divided into two parts. So you had a football player, a top football player, and you got me, which half of my life I spent as a football referee. Some of it a little bit international, mainly futsal, and most of my passion the last 11 years starts with innovation, entrepreneurship, and so on. I'm excited for two things that will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, one of my best friends that we grew up together as football referees is going to be the first Israeli referee that is going to be on the Champions League for the match between Real Madrid and Pilsen, which is a big, I would say, proud for me. We started our roots together 20 years ago, and I'm very proud of him. And the second thing is that in 2 days from now, the Paris Center is going to be inaugurated for the second time. It's going to be the Israeli Innovation Center to present the Israeli technology. This is one of the slides that I really like to present when I give lectures, because we look at our life today and we are always worried about the future, but no one really thinks in 20, 30 years to come. No one really thinks that the kitchen that you will have and the population around the world is going to change, and the kitchen that we will have today, one of the development that I used to work with is called remit. What's remit are doing? They are using basic enzyme of meat, and they are growing your future filet steak in an incubator. Amazing, yeah? It's not yet a product. Today it's more a dream than a product, but this may happen in 2050. But it's important to understand where we are sitting here, when we are sitting here today, what happened 100 years ago, or less than 100 years ago. 1960, the population in the world was 3 billion. 2050, the population in the world is going to be approximately 10 billion. So imagine, in less than 100 years, we are tripling ourselves here. And we ask ourselves, what is the biggest challenge being 10 billion people on this small ball? So what is the biggest challenge? What is it? Help me. Food? Water. Okay, I saw tons of chili outside, so we are not missing food, and we are not missing spicy food, that's for sure. Okay? And we are not missing food, and we are not missing water, and we are not missing energy. The problem, when we compare the situation between the last crisis that was 70, 80 years ago to the crisis that we had 10 years ago, that we are missing something else. We are missing the meaning in life. We are missing the passion to create. We are missing to wake up in the morning and to do something that is important. To wake up in the morning and to do something that is not about waiting in the line for food. Shh. It's school, yeah? Yeah. We are in school. So the idea is what do we do tomorrow? What do we do that we wake up in the morning and we are looking for meaning because we will have water and we will have energy and we will have care. Yes, there is a problem with the supply chain. There is tons of food on one side of the world, but it's missing on the other side. It's not that we are missing food. We are missing the checks and balances. But more challenging is what we will do tomorrow. So many people with the advanced technology. What is the difference in between the crisis that we suffered from 1928 to the crisis 10 years ago? What is the big difference? The big difference is that we can take a look at this crisis and say it's a challenge or it's an opportunity. And today it's an opportunity because the economy is changing. And one of the things that I really like is that the economy is changing and it allows us actually to create our own future. It doesn't really matter where we are based at because of the internet. And not because of the internet, because of the secure internet. Because 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, if your wife will come to you and she'll say, I want to buy something online, I need your credit card, what will you do? Of course. Okay? But in general, she's not asking you. So she bought online, yeah? The world is changing because those guys at the corporates, what they are looking for? They are looking for what? For money? Easy money? Easy money, okay. That's true. How do you make easy money? You find solutions. How do you find solutions? You see something that is better, faster, and cheaper. Most of the times, yeah? And the guys at the corporates, they understand that they need the entrepreneurs. What we like to call the new unemployed, okay? So every entrepreneur you ask, what are you doing? I'm an entrepreneur. People are 5, 10 years are entrepreneurs. They're unemployed. But the challenge is how to connect in between the unemployed, the entrepreneurs, to the corporates to bring some innovation. You need to support them. You need to support them. What we didn't have 8 years ago is the platform. What you need to support them with is the believing that they can do it. If you give them the opportunity, they will take it. Why? Because they have the platform. They need mental support. This is what people are afraid of. Unemployment. The outcomes of unemployment are terrible. And I don't want to talk about it. We have different examples, especially when we come from Israel. You see what's going on, our neighbors, and of course talking about ISIS. But ISIS in Spanish. Yeah. ISIS? Yes. Okay. That's a video. That's a video I like showing that presents some of the technology that we use to see in Israel, and we are proud that exists in many countries around the world. The flash memory. But when you see this video, I want you to think not about those developments, but about the future developments. This is the best product we invented in Israel. where do we find technology and innovation today? Everyone talks about cybersecurity, everyone talks about fintech and so on. And the idea about talking about trends, and talking about trends is one thing. So I said, okay, they invited me to talk about trends. So what is trend? Trend is from the eye. Your eye is different than your eye. You see things in a different way. And when we talk about trends, the general idea today, because we talked about the corporates, is to try and understand where the opportunity exists today. 22% of the worldwide investment in cybersecurity are in Israel. Okay, so we can assume that there are a lot of invention in cybersecurity. But what about energy? 6 months ago we had a new energy event in Israel. The average age of the entrepreneurs was around 65. So, okay, in 10 years from now, we won't have entrepreneurs in this area. We need to digitalize this area. And when we talk about new energy, we also talk about travel. We also talk about construction. And we talk about the old industries that are not yet digitalized. And yes, I gave some of my background, that I was arbitro, see? La concha de... It's, you know, still it's a school, so I'm not going to continue. And I decided a year ago, you know, Israel and sport is not something we can say that is Ricardo Velez. We don't have many Ricardo. Okay. But I met the new president of the Mexican Football Association 10 days ago. Yoni, something like that. He said, Yon. I said, no, you're Israeli, you're Yoni. He said, no, I'm Yon. I said, no, you're Yoni. And anyway, he said, how is football in Israel? I told him, listen, with the leg, we are más o menos, but with the mind, we are okay. He said, I told him, we can bring the mind. So what happened? A year ago, I quit the arbitro activity, not more football referee. And I decided to build a vision and to take an industry that is a broken industry and to take the amazing technology and bring it to sport. Why? Because in life you have two channels. There is technology that creates reality, and then there is reality that creates technology. And if I would like to take the sport and take the sport into the technology world, it will be very difficult. Old-fashioned people, like in construction, you come to the construction activity, to the construction of companies, and you try to bring technology to the area, and they are old-fashioned. So, you know, football players, or coaches, or even the president of the Football Association worldwide, you talk with them about technology and they're like, you know, we don't really understand. Some of them understand. So I said, with the leg, it's not going to work for me. But with the mind, maybe I will change something. So I decided to establish the innovation center that is related to sport. I can't disrupt all, I can't change everything. I cannot change travel and I cannot change construction and so on. I have to focus. I can change something that I understand it. And I decided to create the future of sport. And what is the future of sport? Talking about trends. Why do we care about sport? That's the first thing to ask. Who is doing sport here? Raise your hand. Who is watching sport? Raise your hand. Everyone in this way or another is connected to sport because sport is life. And what really is sport? So I said, enough with talking, let's do. I took the top talent related to sport and I said, okay, which team is the best team in the world today? Football? Okay, let's do it like a contest. Who is for Real Madrid? Who is for Barcelona? Okay, Barcelona won. So this guy, the second from the right, His name is Hitor. He's from the innovation department at Barcelona. I knock on the door in Barcelona. I said, hey guys, I want to bring innovation. They said, where are you from? Israel. You have soccer in Israel? we have some. And then I told him, come to Israel. Actually, to his boss. And he said, Oren, yes, I will first go to San Francisco, and then I will go to China, and then I come to Israel. He's part of, his name is Didac, Chinese guy, Catalan, part of the junta. The junta is like the board in Barcelona. And then he said, you know what, I will send my manager, a guy named Javier. Javier arrived to Israel. It was more than 6 months ago. Last week I was in Barcelona. He opened an innovation seminar with Rakuten, Gatorade, and all the big supporters of Barcelona, and he said, being in Israel, I didn't see soccer, but being in Israel changed my mind. So I said, if I can make a change, it will come from technology. So I decided to kick and to bring La Liga, FCB, NFL, NBA, and to be with the Israeli chutzpah and to tell them, yes, we are bad in sport, but we are going to make a change on technology. And why do we need this change? Because if there isn't going to be a change in technology, there is not, in the sports technology, there is not going to be a future for sport. And why do we need sport? That's important to ask. But before that, and I have some presents. How many fan FC Barcelona have? How many? Numbers? Numbers. 100 million. More? 10 million. 480 million. It's a big number. How many people are visiting the Camp Nou a year to see Barcelona match? European League, Champions League, La Liga, how many? 2 million. How many are going to see the museum? 5 million. How many fans? 480 million. The annual income, turnover of Barcelona, 940 million euros. Imagine the economic potential of the 480 million. The worldwide 10-kilometer man running record. How many minutes? Now people are calculating. I'm doing 6 minutes per kilometer. Maybe now cut it by half. 26. What was the worldwide record? 1930. 35. 10 minutes. So we ask ourselves, what is going to be the worldwide record in 100 years from now? The cost of the World Cup, $14.2 billion, the most expensive World Cup. How many sport tech startups we have in Israel? 170. The sport industry world. How much this world, the sports industry, numbers? $70 billion. Only the media is $20 billion. Which team is the most, I would say? Real Madrid. Good. The first row is like very economic, everyone, Manchester. Good. Manchester United. And let's be a little bit Zionist. The first Israeli Olympic medalist. Good, yeah, right. See, no one said that, but anyway. Play video. Turn off the lights. Okay, what do we see here? We see the importance of sport. We love sport. We care about sport. Everyone is involved with sport. But on the other hand, 70% above the age of 13, they leave sport, they neglect sport. This is our children. Sport is becoming expensive. Like I showed you in the World Cup, this is the most expensive World Cup ever. And people are less and less going to stadiums or watching sport. But we love sport. This is the passion in life. This is the balance for many other things. So imagine the world without sport. Imagine your children, don't imagine, it happens today, sitting all day in front of the computer. Fortnite, yeah? Your biggest enemy. And the reality is that if we are not going to embrace technology, people like Perez, no one is going to know who is he in 10 years from now. Solution. How the sport is going to look like in 25 years from now. This is only the solutions that I bring in different areas, from fan engagement, smart stadium, fitness, gaming, and so on, from my innovation center. Almost 200 solutions that wants to disrupt this world of sport. But when I say let's change this world of sport, what do I mean? I mean future stadium. The ability to sit here or to sit at home and to feel like you are in the stadium. And the ability to sit in the stadium and to get to the same data, like you are at home. Future athlete. It's look like a robot, that's the future athlete. And esports, the biggest enemy. 3 months ago I hosted the Spanish Champions League on esport. His name is Marcus. He came on the stage and he said, and then the guy from the NFL told him, yeah, but esport is not sport. And he said, why not? You know that I broke my finger all day playing? You know that I need to get also a physiotherapist, massage? I'm very stressed, I need mental psychologist. And you know what? I make much more money than you are. And then quiet. Then that's the market. Let's see some of the interesting solutions. But before that, the industry that is about to be, I would say, in a level of disruption, on a level of challenge that it's going to survive, is the media and entertainment. It means that more than 40% of the media and entertainment company, the C-level and the owners, they know that they can lose their company tomorrow. And I want to connect the dots and show you two solutions, InSounds and Replay. InSounds is a company that based in Israel that raised a few $1 million, an amazing solution that is going to change the way that we see sport, watch sport today from home. Take a look. This is the situation today. That's the coach, he's talking with the players. What did he say? You don't know. That's the solution. You can hear the people on the pitch. Soccer, NBA, NFL. Imagine, you can hear the goalkeeper talking to the attacker. And as a football referee, you know, there were some problematic players like Perez, and you come to them, hey, you son of, if you are not going to behave yourself, in 20 minutes you get cartel, how to say, roja, tarjeta roja. See, claro, claro. Now, if I do this, you know, I was afraid that they will read my lips. Yeah? But now, even if I do this, they can listen to me. Imagine. The second solution that you already saw, implemented in many leagues now. VAR is not innovation. No. This is called the volumetric technology. In every position in the field you are based, there are cameras taking shots and they can create a 360. When you see the players today with a dunk on NBA or score a goal with his head, you can see the 360. Now, that's me, the referee in the middle. No. In 2 years from now, you're going to have AVR, more or less 2 years, and you will be able to see the match at home like you were in the eyes of Messi, Ronaldo, Marcelo. Imagine, you are in their eyes. This is disruptive technology for the sport. I'm encouraging you to disrupt other industries. Thank you very much.